Weather right now is super nice outside. I know we are in quarantine, keeping my social distance, don't worry. Not getting close to anyone, just going for a ride. The neighborhood's pretty empty, except for a couple people walking here and there. I got the Backfire G2T, the electric skateboard that I showed in the video, about a year ago, a little bit less than a year actually, but as of now I put over 300 miles on it. Right there. I don't know if you guys can see this, but 323 miles, right? Given that I've been riding this board for a while now, I feel like now is a good time for me to give my impressions, I guess my more in-depth impressions on how I feel about the board. First and foremost, the board is extremely fun to ride. I never get tired of riding it, I never get bored. I ride it basically until the battery can't take me any further, charge it up and do it again. It was extremely helpful for me while I was on campus, while I was at Rutgers University, because there's multiple campuses and it's a lot faster to get there on board than to wait for a bus and be crowded in there with a bunch of people and all that. If you go to Rutgers, you probably saw my face at some student center on a TV because my video of me showcasing my backpack and showcasing my electric skateboard actually ended up on a playlist somewhere. So I guess shout out Student Affairs Rutgers. You can find all their videos and you can find me on their page as well. I'll put a link in the description. This thing and I have been through so much, right? Look at it, it's all dusty, beaten up, grip tape wearing off the logo there. Wheels have yellowed a lot. And this is actually also a new battery. The board is water resistant, but I do not recommend riding this in wet conditions. If it just rained, if it's gonna rain, if it's damp on the ground, or if it's just plain wet, don't ride the board outside. One, you're gonna slip and it's gonna be a bad situation, and two, you're gonna get water into the battery and then your battery's gonna get destroyed and you won't be able to ride your board anymore. I had to replace this battery. Luckily for me, Backfire actually hooked me up with a discount for the new battery just because I didn't know any better and technically it was under warranty. So yeah, don't damage your board by riding in the water, okay? First step. Second, I actually got in an accident riding this thing. Yeah, it was in the middle of the night over last summer, and essentially, I was riding really fast without any proper lighting in front of me, and between street lights where it was pitch black, there was actually a pothole and I ran straight over it at 30 miles an hour. Did not feel good, landed heavy on my shoulder and broke my collarbone. And bad timing too, because I had to travel soon and I had 2 weddings to attend. So yeah, definitely not a good time to break your collarbone, but I got through it. The main part of healing was just like a week long, and then after that it was just being careful and not putting too much weight on it. So everything was manageable. Summer went fine. Last summer was actually really fun. Hopefully this summer will be fun too if Corona can just stop. But yeah, after 300 miles on this thing, honestly I can't complain about the durability of the actual board. It's super solid, had no issues with it. Actually, let me take that back. I also got hit by a car. This was a little bit before I broke my collarbone. I was actually on the way to class off the parking lot, but I guess there was some kind of Bluetooth interference between the controller and the board, and I couldn't hit the brakes, so I kind of slammed right into a car. So I guess technically I hit the car, technicality. I was okay, driver was chill, he was super cool, and yet 8 out of 10 would recommend definitely riding one of these things. I don't mean to make it sound really scary. Of course, the situations that I've been in were purely because I like going fast, and sometimes I can be a little reckless, apparently. For the average casual user, or if you get a chance to just ride one of these things because a friend has it or something like that, definitely take it. It's really fun. There's almost nothing like it. Not even going fast, just being able to cruise on the street, it's magical. If you're interested in getting an electric skateboard or riding it in this season, I would definitely recommend it. Definitely wear protective headgear. Once you get more comfortable with the board, I would still recommend wearing a helmet just because you never know what could happen. It's not perfect, but it's definitely worth the thrill. That might be debatable to some people, so I don't know, it's up to you. But yeah, I'm thinking of making another video like this, but at the nighttime. Now I actually got shred lights for the board, so it kind of lights up the front and the back. The back's red lights and the front is white lights. And just one comment on the shred lights before I wrap this video up. They are really nice for being able to see. The problem that I encountered is if you're going over a lot of bumpy terrain, then the lights, although they do have a new locking mechanism, tend to slip off gradually. So there have been a couple instances where I've been going on a long night ride and I would just like kind of glance back to see if my lights were still intact, and one would be missing. And that's no good. You don't be missing your lights like that, especially because they're not exactly cheap. So this is what the actual light looks like. It's kind of just like a rubber case light with a nice bright LED at the front. And let me just turn it on real quick. Okay, so this is the red one from the tail light. And yeah, it has a bunch of modes. You can make it blink, flash, you can do a lot of stuff with it. So it's pretty dope. The only thing is if it does fall off, it's a struggle to go back and find it. So just be careful, be mindful. If you're riding on bumpy terrain, make sure you secure them extra just to be safe. I haven't tested out these smaller wheels yet, and I think I might this season. because these ones are starting to get worn really well. As you can see, they're super yellowed. No, some of them are cracking and stuff just because some of the terrain that I ride over is kind of rough. Make sure you tune in next time if you want to catch more videos on Xero films. You already know what's going on. I'm gonna get back outside and ride this thing until the battery is dead completely. Peace.